In September, it made an appearance the following month for Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory pay-per-view. And so everybody obviously was just like, what? When she showed up? I mean, it was a pretty big deal. You know, I was upset about it because, I mean, I think I've told the story on the show before when I was watching the pay-per-view and she came up to the ring and she just breaks down. Of course, people got a call. She just breaks down and starts crying because she's so insanely happy. And just, you know, moved that she's getting such a reaction. It moved me too. It definitely, you drew a fucking connection to Kylie Ray the moment she walked out on the stage. So, hold on. Yeah, the wife's calling.
Some dude from the IRS.
How do you know it's some dude from the IRS?
Because he just said, "Is Nicholas Solomon here? This is Agent so-and-so from the fucking IRS." I don't know. Take the phone.
Hello? What's up, buddy? How you doing? You there?
What's going on?
Hey. What are you doing, buddy?
Chilling. What's going on? You want to come out?
Well, I can't come out, but you are on my podcast right this minute.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which podcast? This isn't the one about you coming out gay and everything, is it? It's like a...
Dad, I told you that shit.
Whole gender reveal party to find out if you have a mangina or not. It's not this.
I told you that in confidence, Father.
Oh, you mean it's going right now?
Yes, it's going right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Son, daughter? No problem.
What are you doing, bud?
Just chilling. Waking up.
Waking up. Lazy ass. We are talking about some wrestling and you're just getting the fuck up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I tried to watch SmackDown and it put me right to sleep. What do you expect me to say?
If you guys don't recognize that voice, that is the metal honky Big J, who just woke up because he's a lazy bastard. So there's that.
Right.
No, we were just talking a little about Kylie Ray, who showed up at Impact a couple of months ago and finally broke her silence about leaving AEW and such. You remember who Kylie Ray is?
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought she was AEW and she quit AEW. I never knew she went to Impact.
Yeah, no. So she showed up at AEW, worked there for one show. The next day, I wouldn't say next day. It was like a couple of weeks, maybe like a week.
Yeah, I remember being a couple of weeks, and she asked Sean Khan for her release.
Yeah.
And the way it was presented at that time was like personal reasons. She wasn't quite all there in the head or something.
Something of that sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she came out and she got on Instagram, and pretty much that's what she said. She had to get her mind right with God and all this, and I still don't feel like that's, I don't know, it just feels like there was something going on that she doesn't want to talk about or doesn't want it getting out or something. I mean, it just feels, it feels like it was a pretty big loss for her, and as shitty as it sounds, and I'm not trying to sound shitty, but it just feels like it was a pretty big loss for her to go from All Elite Wrestling to Impact, even though they are...
Yeah, that's, you know...
Yeah.
Look, man, I'll be the first to tell you, I can remember trying to talk you in, because they did have a little, you know, fire behind them at one time, the TNA Impact. That stepped down from AEW. I mean, that's bad. I don't know why, you know.
Yeah, and that's...
I'm sure... I'm pretty positive for her credentials, she could have gone back to AEW if she wanted to go back, which is, I don't understand why she didn't. That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I felt like it was a step down, and I don't know. I'm sure she'll be able to come back eventually. Maybe she'll be able to work out whatever's going on with her there. You know, I don't understand.
Did you, by any chance, did you hear about the recent thing with AEW? They got some legal stuff going on?
No, I don't think I have that. I mean, do you talk about the Randy Orton thing? Because that was just bullshit. That was like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I saw something earlier today that last pay-per-view, I guess, the Massachusetts.
I think it was the Maryland Booking Commission.
Like that.
Yeah.
Somebody from WCW, or it says an old WCW employee that's now with AEW reported them to the commission, I guess, for the blood and everything, or something like that. I don't know. It had something to do with Moxley's match, whatever. I mean, I didn't get too deep into it. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I read it. It's something about them having to be investigated about the blood that was involved in the match because the state they were in does not allow wrestlers to lacerate themselves for entertainment purposes or any other purposes, or use...
They did see the match, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out because, I mean...
They were laying on barbed wire, dude. I don't know about lacerating yourself. I'm sure at some point one of those little metal pricks probably punctured their skin.
Well, not only that, but, okay, so I read the article, and the Maryland Booking Commission, if that's who it is, which
that's
I do...
That's what it is, the Maryland Booking, yeah.
They, at all wrestling events in the state of Maryland, they provide their own doctor and own medical staff.
Oh my God, they're one of them.
Yeah, because to stop the match if there's blood involved. If that's the truth, and this isn't a work, and this isn't some bullshit story or something, when the blood started, they didn't get in there and stop the fucking match.
They didn't.
Yeah.
That's not on AEW.
That's not on AEW. Because if I'm reading it correctly, I don't have the article pulled up in front of me, but I read it like just a couple of days ago. If that's the way it's supposed to work, then they didn't stop the fucking match. So it's not on AEW. The only thing that needs to be investigated is the Maryland Booking Commission. American,
that would be 100% on them.
The Maryland Athletic Commission. Excuse me, not Booking Commission, but Athletic Commission. But yeah, I read about that. I thought it sounded like a crock of shit to me. Is what it sounds like.
It probably is. I'm sure it's probably somebody that might finally be getting a little bit of steam back, with their ratings, and because they've been getting their ass beat 5-6 weeks in a row, they might have created something to, I don't know, divert from the fact that they've been getting their ass beat 5-6 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of what it sounds like too. So the next article, can you stay for a little bit or?
As long as you want. I just woke up and saw that I missed a call from you. I was like, well, shit, let me call him back.
Well, yeah, that was actually the reason I was calling you, is to see if you wanted to come on the show and hang out for a while and bullshit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we got a run-in. We got a run-in from the metal honky here,
That's right.
So, okay, so moving on here. I actually just talked a little bit about the Jim Cornette controversy.
That was great.
I knew you were going to fucking... So, without going back through...
I'm sitting here with my lovely wife. I'm sure she would love to hear the phrase. Could you say it again?
Oh, man, I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to say it for like the fourth time. But, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it one last time. And I'm going to quote... This is not from the World Wrestling Podcast, just so we throw that out there. It's just a quote from Jim Cornette. The quote is that it was in the middle of a match, and it was just two wrestlers wrestling, and Jim Cornette goes to try and talk about how tough one of them is, and he's like, and quote right here, "Man, that guy's so tough. It's the only man I know that would strap a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken to his back and drive across Ethiopia on a moto scooter," unquote.
Not nice.
See, that's the reaction that everybody had, was not nice. And I mean...
Not nice.
I mean, and people have to understand, which nobody does. Okay, look, right off the bat, yeah, it looks bad. He was talking about beating Sally Struthers, dude.
Oh my God!
To beat all those little, Well, I'm going to refrain because you're trying to do the podcast. I think that the metal honky would be racist in any form. Because I'm a honky, I'm bringing it back.
Oh my God! So without going back through the whole situation, give me your quick opinion on it, legitimately, how you feel about the whole Cornette deal. Because I've got something from Eric Bischoff here next in just a second, but
that would be good to hear. I personally, going back and forth, because they've talked about it on the radio some this week that I listened to and stuff. You got a couple of different options here. Was it planned? Of course, you have everyone that are part of NWA, right?
Yeah.
The company. Now, they did the show, recorded the show, had to go through 3 different people. It had to go through production and then editing before they played the show, and they didn't take it out.
Yeah.
They left it in and then played it. I would say that it's a call out, somebody see if we do this, who could do this, and it not really be, oh, he's just doing that to get looks. Oh, Jim Cornette could do that. He'd say some stupid shit like that. It won't look like he's just doing it to get attention.
That's a solid point. They could easily have been a publicity stunt to get some more eyes on the NWA, and I mean, fuck, it worked. I mean, that's.
Then you say, oh, well, he lost his job or whatever. He's not on the video anymore.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet if you really checked into it, he's still on the payroll of NWA. And if he is, that just backs up that theory.
I mean, I don't know. He jumped on his podcast on Friday and he let him have it pretty hard. I mean, but that could easily be.
He would have to.
Yeah, that could easily be a part of the act too. I mean, you never know. In wrestling, it sounds like fans are just paranoid, but they've tricked us so many times. Everything's a fucking work now. Everything's a fucking work.
Is it live or is it the finger poke of fake?
Yeah, fucking exactly. So, okay, Eric offers his take on the Jim Cornette racist comments and resignation from the NWA, and he says Jim is a guy that is reluctant to adapt, and it's really unfortunate because he's a talented guy, he's an entertaining guy, and he's a very knowledgeable guy. But if you're not willing to grow and evolve and understand the implications of some of the things that you do and say and how it affects other people adversely, then you're going to get put out to pasture. I hope that doesn't happen with Jim, but apparently that's kind of what it happens to be. I don't know where he goes from here. Who's going to hire him at this point? Probably no one. And, I mean, he's got some solid points. I mean, Cornette has made more than just this as a mistake. He's definitely made his fair share of.
Yeah, I mean, dude, let's take all the millennial BS out of the whole situation. You go back and you watch a Jim Cornette match from 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody crying about anything. Man, he didn't hold back nothing.
No, you're right about that. I mean, he didn't hold back anything. Anytime he got on the microphone, he put everything he had out there for everybody to fucking see.
Yeah.
I can say that about Jim Cornette is that he did have some really good shit. I mean, some great matches. I mean, it's just like that scaffolding deal. You ever hear about that?
No, I don't believe I did.
So he is working a match. I don't know if it was in Texas. I can't remember where. I think it was with the Von Erichs. And he is trying to help his team win. And so they're doing a scaffolding match. And the object of a scaffold match, for anybody who doesn't remember or, who isn't old enough or whatever, doesn't know, is the object of a scaffolding match is to get your opponent up on the scaffold. And the scaffold is set up middle of the ring. And it's basically to push them off the scaffolding. You know what I'm saying? It's like a 16-foot drop. It's a good fucking drop. So, they're up there and, shit, there's my phone. They're up there and fucking, he comes up there, he's trying to distract the enemy team. And he falls off. He legit falls and breaks his fucking leg in like 4 fucking places and fucked up his kneecap and he did a lot of fucking damage. A lot of